Morning everybody, welcome to Talk Tuesday today. I've got my lovely chime back with me today, lovely Koshi chime, so I thought we'd start with a bit of lovely gentle chime sound, which helps to calm me because I was in a bit of a rush because I suddenly realised it was 8:30 and I wasn't quite ready. So I'm going to be talking today about gratitude. And those of you who have followed me for some time will have heard me talk about this lots. So apologies in one way, although I don't apologise in another way, because it is great to be reminded about the power of gratitude. But the reason I was prompted to talk about it today was because I know that I've had a lot of new people follow me lately, for which I am really grateful. But I was talking to some of them recently, and not everybody was aware of how gratitude can help you. So it was a prompt to me really to talk about it again. So a lot of people will already know that keeping a gratitude journal is really good for your well-being. But for those of you who don't know, just a little bit of background from my own story, which is, I guess, probably about 10 years now. That's gone quickly. I was at a really low point in my life and I was still working in law, and I happened to be on a course which was actually about sales and resilience in the selling process. But even though I really didn't want to go on that course, but it was compulsory. But I'm now super grateful for having gone on it, because the person who was giving the talk, who I would credit if I could remember his name, and I can't, he talked about being optimistic and what were the attributes of optimistic people. And he talked in particular about the research work that was done by somebody called Dr. Martin Seligman. And I had a bit of an epiphany during that course and realised I had become quite pessimistic, which is really not my natural state. And I didn't like it. So I thought, well, okay, I'm going to look into this optimism thing, because Dr. Seligman's work was all about learned optimism. So I thought, well, if you can learn how to be optimistic, that was something I wanted to do. And one of the key attributes of optimistic people is gratitude. And I went away and I read the book about it, which was actually quite sciencey, so difficult for me because I'm really not a scientist and I'm not tuned into scientific language. But the overall point for me was of the power of gratitude. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to write a gratitude journal. So I got myself a new journal, a bit like one that I just bought yesterday, actually, because I've just finished my last gratitude journal. I know this is the wrong way around, but I love the fact that it says Stargazer. It really appeals to me. So I bought this new journal, sat down on the first evening, and for the life of me couldn't think what to write in it. And that's just a reflection of how low I was at that particular time in my life. So I just went with the basics, which were, I think, a roof over my head, the bed that I was lying in, and something like electric light. All the kind of the things that we often take for granted, but really it's good to be grateful for. And that was how I got started. Now, the next night I struggled again to think what to do, but I made a rule for myself that I didn't want to write the same things the following day, because I wanted to focus on more things that I could be grateful for. And it was tough in the beginning, and it will be if you're in a low place, but I really urge you to persevere with it if you are in that low place, because if you do keep coming up, keep thinking about what you can be grateful for, it has a bit of a snowball effect, which is certainly what I found. You know, within a couple of weeks, I was thinking of lots and lots of things to write in my gratitude journal. And more importantly, I was feeling the gratitude during the day. You know, something would happen and I'd think, oh, I must write that in my journal later. And then that evolved into not just, oh, I must write that in my journal later. It was, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that in the moment, and I'm enjoying that feeling of gratitude. The reason it works, excuse me, is that when you're feeling grateful, it's not possible to have a negative thought at the same time. It just isn't, because you're feeling that gratitude, which is a much higher vibrational energy. And really that's what it's all about. Because when you're feeling down and low and gloomy, you are in a low vibrational state. When you're grateful for things, it raises your vibration and you become happier, more joyful. And after a few weeks of me having started my gratitude journal, I found that I just realised one day, I was off for a walk and I thought, you know what, I just feel lighter. I felt brighter about life generally. And nothing really had changed outwardly in my life. It was all inward. The fact that I was being grateful for what I had in my life and acknowledging that, rather than focusing on the things that I didn't like in my life. And so that's why it has that amazing effect on you. It lifts your vibration, it makes you feel good, and it also attracts good things to you. And that's the law of attraction at work, because as I've said before, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing on being grateful and happy about what's in your life, then more will come to you that's good and makes you feel happy. Whereas if you're focusing on the low vibrational stuff, you know, the things that you don't like, then that's, you know, that's where the energy goes and more of that comes to you. So it's like magic, really. Now, some people, I think, I mean, I talk to lots of my clients, pretty much all of them, about starting a gratitude journal if they haven't already got one, because I know the power of it. Some people are very resistant to it because they are still in a low place and they tend to be in that mindset of, well, what have I got to be grateful for? You know, I'll wait until I'm feeling a bit better. But that is the wrong approach. You need to do the gratitude journal to help you to feel better. One of my old colleagues once said to me, well, what comes first, happiness or gratitude? And for me, it's gratitude all the way. You know, if you're grateful, you know, if you practice an attitude of gratitude on a regular basis, then you will naturally be happier. Whereas if you wait to feel happy, to be grateful, it just doesn't work in that way. Now, I'm not saying don't be grateful for feeling happy, absolutely do, but there's all sorts that you can be grateful for. When you start thinking about it, you know, for me, the fact that I'm alive today, I can speak to you over the power of the internet. You know, I have the use of my arms, my legs, my voice, my ears, all of that, as well as all the amazing other wonderful things that happen on a daily basis. It is just cultivating that attitude, and I think you will just feel brighter if you get into the habit of it. Now, as you've just seen, I have a paper journal because that's how I like to do it. I find that the act of writing out what I'm grateful for each day helps me to get into that feeling of gratitude, because it isn't just about mechanically saying I'm grateful for such and such. You do have to actively feel it as well. Now, you might be, I mean, I'm an old-fashioned paper and pen sort of person. You might like to do everything on your phone or on your other device. And if that's for you, then fine, type it out into that. Some people I know have set up sort of gratitude online groups where they post their gratitude there. You can do that if that helps you. Some people do it on a buddy system. They tell each other each day what they're grateful for. But for me, the simplest way is best, which is writing it down. And a lot of my clients do that. There's no ideal time of day to do it because it's all about you. There will be an ideal time for you, but there's not a universal ideal time. I tend to do mine first thing in the morning. And sometimes I'm writing about what happened the previous day. Sometimes it's what's already happened that day and what I know is going to be happening. Some people like to do it in the evening because you can then reflect on the day. And that's actually how I started doing it. And it is a great way of doing it. But I just find I'm a morning person. By the evening, I'm very, very sleepy. So I'm just not as focused. So I will start my gratitude for the day in the morning, and then I'll just often add to it as things crop up during the day. And I have a rule that I always write at least 3. Often I've written many, many more than that. You know, I could go on and on and on, and that's great. And then the other thing is, what do you do with your gratitude journal once it's done? I was thinking about this morning because I literally just finished my last journal yesterday. Now, sometimes I like to flick back and have a look, but mostly I'm not bothered about that because I know that I've been grateful for those things that have gone along the way, and then I'm moving forward. So with the journal that I've just finished, I should probably just throw it away because it has served its purpose of that daily practice of gratitude. And now I'm on to my new gratitude journal. And yeah, that's the one that I'm focusing on. So as always, I know I do tend to go on and on about gratitude because I am so passionate about it, because it really helped to change my life. Once I started feeling lighter and brighter all those years ago, things just really carried on from there. And then random things would happen. I remember I used to go into Pret a Manger every day on my way to my then office job and buy a coffee. And all of a sudden, I was being offered a free croissant or, a free coffee, things that hadn't happened up until that point. I think, I can't remember how long ago it was now, a couple of years ago, I'd actually got out of the habit of writing my gratitude journal. I don't really know why, but then I realised that I'd got out of the habit. So I thought, okay, get back to it. I did, and within a couple of weeks, I was buying some food shopping in M&S, and I don't know whether you know, but if you get one of their loyalty cards, you sometimes, you I think, get entered into a draw for free shopping. I basically got free shopping, which that kind of thing didn't normally happen to me. But I'm convinced that was because I had started up my gratitude journal again. And those are just two random examples. There's tons more stuff that has happened, I'm sure, as a result of me feeling grateful about things. And in fact, where I am now in terms of my life, I'm convinced is because of me starting that gratitude practice. So as I say, I could go on about it forever, and apologies again to those of you who have heard it lots of times before, but I do think it's worthy of repeating, and I hope that it's helped those of you who are new to it. And if you'd like to know more, as always, just get in contact. The only other thing I wanted to say today, because I'm conscious time has gone on, is keep an eye out on the Facebook page for more chakra dancing classes coming soon. I'm super excited about those. Another thing that I'm grateful for, I am speaking to lots of different venues at the moment about setting up new classes. So yeah, do keep an eye out. Most of them are in my local area, but I have got one scheduled for Solihull. So if you are one of my Birmingham and Solihull area followers, then I'd love it if you could come along to the class that I'm running on Sunday, the 11th of February at 10 AM. If you don't know the details about it, drop me a message and I will explain all about where it is and how you can book. But I'm going to stop talking now because I think I've gone on for long enough, and I will let you get on with your day. Thank you for watching this. Whenever you're watching this, I'm always super grateful for people engaging with these videos, and I will be back here again next week. Bye for now.